Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So as of today we are 4 days into spring and I am so happy about it. It's finally sunny outside, there are flowers everywhere, and all of a sudden there are all of these plum blossoms blooming and it's just so magical. So once again I am celebrating the changing of the seasons by making a favorites video. Here are my winter favorites. That is my favorites from the months of December, January and February. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. My very first favourite is probably no shock to any of you, but it is actually the snow. I loved the snow so much. I spoke about it so much on this channel and on my Twitter and on my Instagram. It was just absolutely beautiful. I know snow is something that's really boring and mundane to a lot of people who experience snow a lot, but I am not one of those people. I've experienced snow 2 times in my entire life. And the second time was this winter. So for me, being from Adelaide where it does not snow at all, seeing snow is just the most amazing thing and it's still a massive novelty. So back in January, we had this really snowy day. It went from absolutely nothing to everything being covered in snow in about 24 hours. It was absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure that day was the most snow Tokyo had gotten in 4 years or something ridiculous. It was a lot of snow. And I just loved it so much. It was such an insane thing for me to be in my home and to look out the window and to see snow falling from the sky, like something out of a fairy tale, which sounds very sad, but I'm from a very warm, dry country where there isn't snow, so it's just a really special thing. And I loved the snow so much, and I'm so happy that I got to experience it here. Second favorite is, where is it? This handbag. This is actually one of my Christmas presents that I got from Tyler. Way back in December, I was walking to the train station from work and I was carrying my backpack, the backpack I used to always use. And while I was walking, one of the straps actually snapped. And my bag just fell off my back and I had to awkwardly try to catch it so all of my stuff didn't go on the floor. Basically I tried to fix it. I tried to fix it with glue, I tried to sew it, and it just sort of didn't really work. So for Christmas, Tyler got me a lovely new handbag and I was so happy with it. It's just very plain black. It has gold bits. I'm probably not the best person to describe handbags, but it is a nice handbag. It has a pom-pom, so that is basically my favorite thing in the entire world. I'm obsessed with pom-poms. And it looks really nice. This isn't an expensive handbag in any way, but it looks like a nice handbag. So that's really good. I can't remember the name of the store that it was from. It was in the department store section of Sunshine City. But yeah, it's a really nice handbag. I really love it. It's the perfect size. It's big enough for me to bring a book and a drink bottle, but not so big that I lug heaps of useless stuff in it. So that's really good. And my other favorite part about this handbag is that on the side here, there's this little zipped area. And this is where I keep my Suica card. So for those of you who don't know, Suica is a brand of IC card or Metro card that you use in Tokyo. A lot of people keep their Suica card in the case for their phone, but as you can see, I don't have a flip case. So I used to put my Suica in my wallet, or I used to put it in my pocket, until one day my Suica actually fell out of my pocket when I was sitting on the train. And I didn't notice that my Suica card, which had been recently filled up, had fallen out of my pocket until the train was riding off into the distance, and because I didn't have my name on it, I had no way to retrieve it. So yeah, when I saw this bag, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can put my Suica in the outside of my bag. I don't have to rummage around on the inside for it. It doesn't have to be loose, and it doesn't have to go in my pocket anymore where I'm going to lose it again and leave it on the train after it's just been filled up. Third favorite is this wallet here. This was my other Christmas present from Tyler. I had been using my travel wallet for the longest time. So for ages, months and months, since before we left Australia, I'd been wanting to get a newer, smaller wallet, until it was Christmas and we were in Sunshine City and we saw these wallets. Now we got this from the Disney store. Disney wallets are normally kind of expensive, but I think these ones were on sale, and it's just this really lovely little wallet. It has Winnie the Pooh on it and little bees and flowers, and it's like mostly yellow creamy colored, which I like. So it flips out and there's just a spot for photos, which I still need to print out and put in. I am planning on putting photos in here. And then there's just the coin purse area of this, which is really, really important if you live in Japan, because Japan is a cash-based society. So back in Australia, I never used cash, I never used coins, but here, like I don't use my card. I always use cash because that's just the norm here. So having like a good coin pocket section of my wallet was really, really important to me. And yeah, it's very convenient. It's very pretty. It's perfect size. And I love this wallet so much. The fourth favorite on my list is my yoga mat. We got this in December, I think it was, around Christmas time as well. So by the time December rolled around, we had been in Japan for about 6 months and I still hadn't gotten a yoga mat because we weren't entirely sure how long we were going to be living here. We may have only been here for 6 months if things didn't work out so well. So there was no point in buying big things like yoga mats because if we were only going to be here for 6 months, then there was no point. But basically, I really badly wanted a yoga mat because I miss doing yoga so much. So now that I have one, I'm like really, really happy. It was only like 800 yen. As I said, it was from Don Quijote. It's not the thickest yoga mat in the world, but it does the job. It's pretty comfy to do yoga on. So yeah, that is my fourth favorite, my yoga mat. I love it to pieces. I feel so much healthier now that I can just do yoga whenever I want. Because yoga is the only form of exercise I actually like, so it's the only form of exercise I pretty much do. The fifth favorite on my list is these glasses. These are just fake fashion glasses, and I bought them from Yokohama Red Brick Warehouse. When I was in Yokohama, I was writing an article on something and I was doing like research, but I found these glasses and they were only like 1,000 yen, and they have UV protection, which is also really good, but I just loved them so much. I feel like they suit my face reasonably well. I love how thin they are, I love how round they are. I just think they're really, really nice glasses. Ever since I bought them at like the start of January, I've been trying to work out how to film while wearing them. But as you can see, there's this really horrible glare on the glasses from the window, and there's like nowhere in this room where I can sit where it's like lit properly, but there's no glare. So eventually I'll work out a way to film while wearing these, but they're just the most lovely glasses. I think they're really cute. I think they make any of my like normal outfits look actually kind of stylish, so I really, really like that. The next item on my list of favorites is a little bit different from all the others, and that is because it is food, if this can be described as a food. Basically it is this. This is essentially just a really elongated chisel in packaging that tastes like corn, but in the best way possible. These are so good. They're so delicious. I discovered this when I was running a Christmas party at my school. I was like handing out candy to kids and obviously teaching them English and practicing English and all that stuff, but I was handing out candy at this Christmas party and I saw these and I just thought that they were like really weird looking because we had like all this normal candy and then just these big sticks of I didn't even know what. So after the Christmas party ended, I went to the supermarket and I went looking for these, and they're only like 10 yen or they're only like 9 yen. And to my surprise, it basically just turned out to be a really, really big chisel. But yeah, it just, the flavor's really good. It tastes like corn, and you wouldn't think a corn flavored chip would taste very good, but it does. And because they're only like 10 yen each, I just buy them all the time. But the only problem is that they are totally for children. So I feel like a little bit ashamed whenever I go up to the checkout and I just have a whole heap of these chip things that are totally supposed to be for kids. And I'm a grown adult. But yeah, they're really good. They're really delicious. The convenience store sells them. All supermarkets sell them. If you come to Japan, I definitely recommend checking these out. The seventh favorite on my list is a documentary about Studio Ghibli, and it is called The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness. I cannot believe I only just watched this documentary. It came out in like 2012 or 2013. It's now 2018 and I'm only just watching it. This is probably now one of my favorite documentaries of all time. It is a documentary about Studio Ghibli. It basically follows the studio in the lead up to their release of The Wind Rises, and this documentary is just so beautifully made. Just the way it's made, the way the story is told. The documentary has its own film score. The music that plays during it is so good. It's just a really wonderful look at Studio Ghibli. It really shows how it operates as a company, and it shows a lot of insight to Hayao Miyazaki as a person as well, where his motivations are, like what his history is, how he works, all of that stuff. It's so good. I definitely recommend you go check it out if you're a fan of Studio Ghibli. Honestly, if you're not, if you just like documentaries, please go watch that. Second to last favorite is a book, and it is A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I started this book when we were on the way to Mount Takao. I'm pretty sure in that video I show a shot of like the introduction to this book, because that was the day I started reading it, and it took me a very long time to finish. It's a very big book. It's a very dense book, but it's just such a beautiful book. I'm really glad I like stuck with it. The way the prose are written and the way that nature is depicted with the flowers and the summer's day and the garden outside of Basil's like artist's studio, the way everything is described is just so beautiful, and I loved it. It's also a very creepy book because it is a gothic novel. It's not a very plot heavy story. It has a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of really good characterization. The dialogue is really good in this. Definitely recommend checking it out if you like more older books or if you're into gothic literature. And the very last thing on my favorites list I have spoken about before on this channel, so I'm going to talk about it really quickly, but it is The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. Just like Dorian Gray, I started reading this ages ago. Basically, it's a non-fiction book about mindfulness and how meditation is really beneficial to you, how to be at peace with everyday life. There are certain things that you should do, like deep breathing, and essentially, yeah, it's just about meditation and stuff like that. I put it down because I thought it was a little bit dry. I didn't quite get into some of the things it was saying, but if I'm being honest, the last couple months have been a bit stressful for me. I've struggled a little bit to handle my stress levels and some like anxiety things, so I wanted to pick it back up because I wanted to see if reading it would help with like handling stress stuff. And it turns out it was absolutely wonderful for me. So the book basically goes through how using meditation and mindfulness in everyday life can improve your overall well-being, and it teaches you like specifically how to do it and the ways that all of these like Buddhist monks meditate on things. There's a little bit of like basic philosophy and stuff in there. It's actually a really good book. It's a really interesting read, even if you're not into mindfulness or meditation. And I know a lot of people aren't. I know for a lot of people meditation is a bit like airy-fairy and whatever. But using this book and using the teachings of this book, I started meditating every day. Basically every morning I just like get up, I sit down on my yoga mat, I set a timer for 10 minutes and I just do deep breathing. Just doing that, just taking 10 minutes out of every day has massively improved like how I've been feeling, how I've been handling like my base level stress. So if you're interested in learning about mindfulness or meditation or the benefits of both, I definitely recommend checking out this book. And that's everything. Those are all of my favorites from the winter months. I hope you guys have been well. I'm sorry that I've been a little bit absent from this channel. As I've said, the last few weeks and the last couple months have been a little bit of a stressful time. I've just been super busy with everything. Like always, I know I'm always whinging about being like really busy with stuff. I am trying to get back into the routine of consistently making videos and uploading videos. So if I ever disappear for a week, don't worry, I am coming back. I just work a lot and sometimes I don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Please let me know if you had any winter favorites this season. Otherwise, if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, please let me know if you had any summer favorites for this season. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a lovely day. Bye.